a nice little fan. Oh my god, it's so pretty. Look, it even opens up. It lets you straight access to its heart, so like you can touch its feels. Alrighty guys, Rooster here again. I don't have really any reviews to do at the moment, but I figured I'd do you guys a favor and do a little tutorial here on how to work with your graphics card when it comes to replacing its thermal paste. So as you see in front of me here, we have a little bit of a dinosaur, but just for the sake of showing you how we're going to go about this. Well, first off, it's a GTX 460 Galaxy. But in the back, as you can clearly see, here are the 4 main screws for the heatsink underneath that's actually contacting the GPU. These will have to come off if you want to take off your thermal paste. As far as the shroud, the plastic shroud concerned, and the whole assembly on top, it'll more than likely be these screws, but every graphics card's going to vary. However, it should be fairly obvious as to which ones you're going to have to take off. Some cards have more, some cards have less, but for the sake of simplicity, we are not going to be taking apart that one, but instead, we're going to be taking apart a really ghetto Radeon X1650. Very simple card. It had a fan on it at one point, but I left it, you're giggling. My cameraman's giggling, and that's bad. And I kind of have a new cameraman. So guys, they actually let us know how this video looks. See if it's, I don't know, maybe the light is too bright. But either way, so this had a fan at one point, but now it's fanless and just, passively cooled because it still runs fine, doesn't get too hot. So, as I said earlier, you have the 4 screws here. For the sake of simplicity, we will be using this card since it only has 4 screws. So, go ahead and get your special little screws right here. They're your screwdrivers. So nice. You want to go ahead and unscrew these one by one. Obviously, be very careful. Don't be too quick about it. You nick the bottom of the PCB, and more than likely, your graphics card will never work again. So gotta be very careful here. I'm gonna get some glamour shots there if you want. No big deal. Right? Imagine my hand slips because we just had coffee. That'd be very bad. Alright, so we got the 4 screws off, as you can obviously tell. Some of these little rubbers, and yes, I just said rubbers, will come off, the little O-rings. And yes, I just said O-ring too. God, I'm on a roll. If I make the cameraman laugh, he's just gonna shake the camera. That'd be the most action he's ever gotten. What? Alright, so as you can tell, we finally got the hellish thing off, because as I said, the paste hasn't been warmed up in a while, so it was a little difficult to get it off. But there's the actual GPU itself. Don't ask me what GPU it is, because this is old as heck, and I'm not going to look that up because I'm lazy. So what you want to do now is wipe this off. Use some TP, that's fine, but make sure that you don't leave any fibers around the GPU or on the heatsink. I mean, just for the sake of cleanliness, and for the sake of it not interfering in the cooling between the actual, GPU die itself and the between the thermal paste and that, so it doesn't affect its cooling. So now you want to get some 90% isopropyl rubbing alcohol. I only have 50%, go figure. But it should be okay as long as you clean up after yourself. So now, as the camera focuses, of course, you want to go ahead and get this thermal paste off. It's coming off slowly, little by little. Just want to wipe it off. Wipe it off because it's a huge mess. Because I'm totally trying to think of things to say while I do this. It's so stubborn. Well, as you can clearly see the ATI logo there, which ATI is, the belated, or rather late ATI doesn't exist anymore. Look at that. Oh, it's so pretty. So now we have the actual heatsink itself. It doesn't have any copper whatsoever because this card doesn't really get that hot, so I'm assuming that's why they didn't use any copper. There you go, fairly easy. And then use the dry side. Get rid of the rest. Alright guys, so just for the sake of the video, just to give you guys the gist of the whole procedure, it's not completely clean, but I'm not going to be too picky about it right now. Now, when you actually replace your thermal paste, you want to use something, better. Depending on your card, you want to use the white stuff because that's mainly silicone, and don't laugh. Okay, I thought you were laughing. But either way, this is pretty cheap stuff by Cooler Master, but it's gray, so it has a bit more ceramic in there. It's not the really cheap silicone white watery junk that when you actually apply it and it gets warm, it just kind of, it kind of runs all over the place. It's horrible stuff. This is a lot more sticky, and it actually has a lot more coverage. So you want to get a little zoom in on that, no big deal. But if I were you, get some good tunia or tunic, I believe, or Arctic silver. You want to use that on your processors and on your graphics card, whenever you want to replace the paste. So you want to go ahead and take considering how small the die is on this, we're not dealing with a processor, CPU, so we're going to put a very, very tiny little dab right here. Very, very tiny.
It's right there on top. Oh my goodness.
There, we're ready to put the heat sink right back on, so you want to go ahead and line the holes. So we actually managed to get it back together. I'm really despising this video right now, but at least maybe for some of you, maybe the steps actually will help you. So guys, this has been another little episode here. This has been Rooster. Thanks for watching, and see you guys next time, and hopefully this will be done better. Right?
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
Why are you talking deeper?
Yes.
Yes! Bye.
Bye.
So stupid.